obviously at each year I think we're elevating our ability level there, and they have worked really hard. We've made a lot of progress. I tell them every day when they do get better. I mean, we've gotten a lot better, but we still have a ways to go. And I know I said it before, but that's our challenge every day, is to come out here and get a little bit better, because it's a group we're counting on. We're going to have the capability in Coach Fisher's offense to utilize multiple tight ends if we're good enough to handle the responsibilities.
Go ahead.
Adding scholarships and kind of enhancing the position, how much has that helped? Just making it more of a focus of the program.
Well, we look like tight ends now more, and that's the goal each year, to kind of elevate the position. I think that's the goal in recruiting any position, is you try to make the position better through recruiting each year. So you keep reaching and stretching and trying to get the best you can. But you look at the young guys like Jimmy Jaggers and Moses Robinson-Carr. I mean, bigger, more physical, thicker guys. They are tight ends from high school, and they're used to playing the position. Jordan Wilson now is eligible now that he's went through his redshirt year. Not that he was ineligible, but gone through his redshirt year. He's 250 pounds at 6'5". And then you got two guys that played some for us that are more receiver type tight ends, who are learning to be more physical tight ends, and Caleb Wilson and Austin Robinson, and Austin Roberts, and those guys now, they have some game experience. They're the only two guys that have game experience, and Caleb is playing more of a full-time tight end role for us and really taking on the challenge and doing a heck of a job.
Caleb looks like a guy that you could make the case that he might have the best hands among the receivers and tight ends.
He runs a little funny, and guys have fun with him, but somehow the ball finds him. The ball, there are receivers at this level and at the next level that the ball just seems to find them. And I think our quarterbacks have confidence in him because he makes those catches. It's unusual to see him not catch a catchable ball, but we're not perfect. We have to try to be perfect. But he's a guy. He understands his body. He uses his length well, and we're counting on him being an asset.
How's he doing in terms of blocking? You said those top two guys aren't exactly bulky guys. How's that developing?
Good. I mean, he's never going to be a guy probably at 235 pounds that's going to just knock you off the ball, but you don't have to be that as a tight end. At the end of the play, if your body is in position between the defender that you're responsible for blocking and the ball carrier, and they haven't pressed the ball carrier and squeezed the ball carrier's running lane, you've done your job. So he's very effective. He knows himself. He knows his strengths. He knows his liability. He's got a lot of savvy about him. He's a coach's son. He's been around the game for a long time, so he understands the game of football, and he understands how to play the position from just a pure football mentality.
Have any of the younger guys kind of knocked your socks off to the point where you're like, man, we need to make a role for this guy?
Well, we're working with both of them. I mean, we don't make any of those decisions till much later, so they both have to get ready to play, and that's the challenge for them. And Jimmy obviously is a little bit ahead simply because he was here this spring, so his confidence level has grown tremendously as a result of having been here, whereas Moses is starting from ground zero, and but yet he's a big, strong, just naturally strong guy, and going to be an interesting guy as he develops too. So my challenge is to keep them both engaged, keep them both progressing, and I'm coaching them both as if we expect them to play this year, and then we'll make that decision further down the road.
Austin Roberts sat out for a few practices. Now he's in a yellow, no contact, and then he came in today and he looked like he immediately hit the ground as a featured guy today at practice.
Well, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Talk a little bit about him.
He's got unique abilities. He's physical enough to be a tight end. He's a very effective blocker. He's got a lot of punch. He understands the fundamentals of blocking. He's got good flexibility that allows him to get his pads under guys. He's just not the biggest guy in the world, but you don't have to be huge if you play with leverage and bend your knees, and he's capable of doing that. And then at the same time, he's really explosive. He's one of our faster players. He's very explosive, so hopefully he can create matchup problems for people down the road.
How's Devin Asiasi dealing with not, and how are you dealing with not being able to play him this season?
Well, Devin's a talented young guy. You can see that. I mean, that's obvious, and he's fun to coach. He's the challenge for Devin, and we've talked a number of times, is to get better this year. This is not a year off for him. This is a year to really take another step forward, not a step backward, not stay the same, but next spring have elevated his level of play from this fall. And that's my challenge, that's his challenge. But he's a prideful guy, and he wants to be a great player, and he has all the tools.
Thank you.
Okay?